Hello friends, my name is Michelle Fondin. I'm an author and speaker, and welcome back to my series on twin flames and the twin flame connection. This week's channeled message is for the Divine Feminine. And yes, Divine Feminines, I am so sorry. This message is long overdue. The last message I put out for the Divine Feminines was around March 18th or so, right before the full moon and the spring equinox. And there was a lot of energy in the universe and a lot of things happening in the collective, but also a lot of things happening to me on a personal level that just made it too heavy to be able to put out this message. In my prior two videos for the Divine Feminine, I spoke about two things: unconditional love and unconditional commitment. And this week, I'm talking about staying focused on your outcome. What is the outcome that you desire with your Divine Masculine? Now remember, we always qualify this by saying Divine Masculine can be a female or male in gender. And if you are a Divine Feminine, you can be female or male in gender. So we're just applying those terms. I usually use the male pronouns for the Divine Masculine just to simplify things. Of course, you can replace the pronouns as you see fit for your situation. So Divine Feminines, oh my God, mind-blowing last 10 days. Crazy last 10 days. I know you guys have been feeling this energy. I know you have. I know you've been feeling the heaviness. I know you've been feeling the gap in communication between you and your Divine Masculine if you're in separation. I know you've been feeling maybe like this void or this vacuum, and I talked about this in the last video. And if you haven't watched my last video on making a commitment to your Divine Masculine, I'm going to post the link below. Go ahead and go back and watch that video on making a commitment to your Divine Masculine. Now, I am going through this in real time, guys. I receive intuitive messages, channeled messages for the Divine Feminine. Mostly, I do receive some for the Divine Masculine, but mostly for the Divine Feminine, being that I'm a Divine Feminine. And even though I've integrated the two energies, and that's something that I can speak about in other videos, it's not something I want to divulge too much in my personal story right now, but I have integrated the two energies of Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine. However, for some reason, it keeps coming through with messages for the Divine Feminine. And I just think that like right now, the Divine Feminine is doing such great work that there's still a little bit of work to be done, especially if you're still in separation in the 3D, in the physical plane with your Divine Masculine. If you're not even familiar with what twin flames are and you stumbled upon this video and you're looking up what is a twin flame, I do have a video also on what is a twin flame. The other thing that came to me through comments on my YouTube channel and also more recently is, do I do angel or tarot readings? And yes, I do romance readings. In fact, romance readings are my specialty. I did work for a psychic network at one point, and that was my specialty on the psychic network. It was doing romance readings. So that being said, I do twin flame readings as well. I do general romance readings as well. You can contact me at michellefondinauthor@gmail.com. I'll put the link below. Yeah, I do readings. I have a full-time job. I'm also studying. So I don't have a whole lot of time to fit in readings, but I can probably do like 2 to 4 readings per week, time permitting, and depending on your time zone, because I am Pacific time. I'm in California, in Los Angeles, so that is my time zone. And just depending on where you live, we can try to make it work. If you are interested in that, I do have a website. It's fondinwellness.com. You can click on Angel, Tarot, and Oracle readings, and then you can get the fee schedule for that. So that being said, I mostly receive messages for the Divine Feminine, and I believe it's because I'm experiencing this real time, and also I just happen to have more messages for the Divine Feminine than for the Divine Masculine. So that's just where I'm at right now. A lot of you have asked, what is my personal story? And the reason, you guys, I'm keeping my personal story from you is to protect my masculine twin flame. We are in a situation that I want to protect his anonymity. I want to protect his privacy. I honor him. I trust him. I love him. I don't want to give too much of our story in the event that he is not okay with it. And so when things progress to a different level and we are in a position to maybe share that information together, I would much rather share that information together with him than tell bits of the story that might break his anonymity, because I respect him totally, and we are in a situation that it might not be good for his current situation. So I'll just give you this. No, he's not married. He's not in a relationship that I know of. Doesn't have kids. He's a single guy. That it has nothing to do with that. It's a whole other personal situation. So I just want to keep his anonymity, and I'm not going to give like a lot of our story in these videos, but just know that I am going through exactly what you guys are going through. Maybe in a different time schedule, maybe at a different level, but a lot of what I share is actually happening to me real time. And we talked about the last 10 days. So the last 10 days, it was about being unconditionally loving and like staying focused on that unconditional love, being unconditionally committed to the divine masculine. For me, being unconditionally committed to my divine masculine, being unconditionally committed to him. And for me, that meant like letting go of other relationships, even male friendships. Just for me, that was me personally. That was for me in order to commit to my divine masculine twin flame. Totally, I felt I needed to do that. What you need to do is going to be on your own level. It's going to be on your own inner knowing, your own inner intuition, and what it is telling you. Like, what is it telling you as far as, are you fully committed to your divine masculine twin flame? Are you fully loving unconditionally? Or are you still setting conditions on that relationship? Are you still setting conditions on, oh boy, when he comes back to me, I'm going to tell him A, B, C, and D, and this is the way things need to be? Are you staying in your feminine, passive, lunar energy? Like, are you staying in that receptivity energy? Are you staying in that open space of compassion, love, intuition, all of those great qualities that make you the divine feminine and your divine masculine, like being those polar opposites that are going to attract together, like the yin yang symbol that I talk about in my earlier videos. So that is the work. And I listen to twin flame videos with other people that talk about twin flames, and there are a lot of respected people out there who are really truly helping people, and I totally respect them, and I get it, and I get a lot out of their videos too, especially like really great readers that are doing tarot readings for the divine masculine, for the divine feminine, for the collective, for the couples together. Like, totally respect them. What I have a hard time with, and this is what I try to teach you guys, is they're always talking about the work, like the work, doing the work to get to union. But there are very few videos that talk about what is the work, like what do I have to do, like what is the work that I have to do on my own in order to help bring the union closer together in reality, in 3D reality we're talking about. Because in the 5D you're always together, you guys are always in union, you're one soul, there's no way you guys could be separated from each other. And that kind of toys with your mind as well. Like, you're living in this physical plane, you're living in this physical world, you're living in this physical existence. We have to live in this physical existence to exist, right? So we have to eat, and we have to sleep, and we have to nourish our bodies. We have to exercise. We have to have a job and pay our bills and raise our kids and just do a bunch of real life stuff. And then now we enter into this crazy relationship that happens to be working on the spiritual plane. So then we're living up here, and we're like caught up in this ethereal connection, this 5D ethereal spiritual connection that has no basis yet in the 3D, especially, like I said, if you're in physical separation. So you're kind of like living in this world, kind of going through the motions and doing the things, and hopefully living your life and being rooted in the present moment and being happy and joyful and blissful in the present moment, while you are living this connection in your spirituality. And it's really hard to be divided like that. It's hard to be divided in, I'm living this relationship that's in the spiritual realm currently, and I know it is real, but then I'm living this, and there's such a disparity between what I am thinking, what I'm feeling, what I'm imagining, what intuitive messages are coming to me. If you're experiencing telepathy with your twin flame, like you're experiencing those telepathic messages, if you're experiencing like the sexuality between you two, like you can just feel that person, you feel that they desire you, you feel that they want you, and then you're feeling the same way about them, and you're feeling their love, and you're feeling that attraction, you're feeling the emotions, and you're going through all of this while on the physical plane, it doesn't jive, right? So it's like, they're not talking to me. Or maybe I see them and they're not even looking at me. Or I am talking to them and we're having a normal conversation, like something about work or something about Pilates or something about dancing or something about gardening or whatever, like in whatever way your paths do cross in daily living, if you happen to have to see the person, and then you're like, wait a minute, on this level, I am like living this in this romance, and it almost seems like a fantasy, but it's not a fantasy because it's actually real. And then when you're in the physical day-to-day, it's like we're having these trivial, meaningless conversations or these interactions that are like not at all to the level that you are feeling this person. So it's very bizarre. It's totally bizarre. And it seems like there's no connection, but there is. And it seems like there's no reality to this in the physical world, but there is, and there will be if there's not already. And so we're living this really crazy existence right now where you can feel like you're going crazy and you can lose sight of your outcome. And that's really what I'm living right now. And I have made a commitment to my twin flame. I've made a commitment to him, to love him unconditionally, to love him, to have him and only him in my life as a romantic partner, as a romantic interest, as my future husband, as someone who I love and cherish and honor and adore. And I've made a commitment to that. I've made a commitment to him. And I've made a commitment to our outcome. So I have made a commitment to, this is my desired outcome. My desired outcome is to have him integrated into my life and have me integrated into his life. And that is my desired outcome. Now, you might be thinking, I thought my divine masculine twin flame had free will. Well, he does have free will. Of course he has free will. I have free will. You have free will. He has free will. She has free will. Everybody has their own free will. Now, the caveat to that is, yes, they have their own free will. But when your soul is awakened to its calling, it can't do anything but honor that calling. So once you're awakened, once you have been activated, once you're awakened to a reality that is your soul's purpose, is your soul's calling, you can try to distract yourself and do other things. You can try to go away from your destiny, but your life path will always ultimately take you back to your destiny. So you're going to live a pretty painful and awful and horrible existence from day to day if you're not living your soul's true calling. And so in separation, in essence, this is what the divine masculine has been experiencing. Now, when we talk about the work, we're more talking about healing wounds from childhood, healing wounds from previous relationships, breaking off karmic relationships, like tying the ends in those relationships. When we talk about the divine feminine doing her work, we're talking about going back into that feminine energy, staying out of the masculine energy, or the yang energy in this union, just moving backward. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Moana, which is one of my favorite Disney movies. the heart of Tafiti, I guess it is, or if I'm saying it wrong, please correct me in the comments below. But the story goes about Moana lives in Hawaii on one of the Hawaiian islands, and her people live there, and all of a sudden there's been a curse on the island because the heart of Tafiti was stolen by Maui, who wanted to give the heart of Tafiti to the humans. And so there was an imbalance in the universe, if you will. There was an imbalance in the Hawaiian Islands. So all the food started to die and the fish started to go away. And so Moana's island and her tribe, all of a sudden they found themselves with no food to eat, and they did not want to venture out into the ocean because they thought that it was dangerous. So she is on a quest to restore the heart of Tafiti. So when you meet this island goddess or whatever, the island goddess is actually a demon, if you will. Like, she is torturing people who dare to come near her because she is in fire energy rather than earth energy. So it is definitely the story of this like yin yang symbol. So when the heart of Tafiti is restored, then she can go back into that earth feminine energy of creation, and you can see her as being more latent and dormant and lush and green and beautiful and flowering versus being this fiery forward moving energy. And so that's really what the divine feminine's role is, or the work is. The work is to go back into that divine feminine energy, the energy of creativity, the energy of intuition, the energy of love and compassion, the energy of receiving, the energy of sitting back in beauty and letting go of that forward moving yang energy that's like that push forward energy, that fire energy, that moving outward energy that is reserved in this union for the divine masculine. So that's why it's so important that in these unions of the twin flame connection, it's so important that it be the divine masculine's job, if you will, to find their own personal power, to find their fire energy, because that's where they sit. That's what they lie. They lie in that fire, yang, solar, forward moving energy. And so each person's job, if you will, so the divine masculine's job is to find that yang inner energy to move forward, and the divine feminine's job is to find that divine receptive energy to move backward. And so when the divine masculine moves forward and the divine feminine moves backward, they meet in the center, right? So that's the beauty of it. And so our role as the divine feminine is to embrace this divine feminine quality of the yin part of the yin yang symbol. So it's our job to move backward a little bit, so not pushing forward with the fire, moving backward into your receptivity, but your powerful energy. And part of that is to sit quietly in meditation, to sit quietly in quiet contemplation and reflection, and to visualize your outcome. You need to visualize that which you intend to manifest. And it's so easy in this divine connection to want to rule it all, to want to push forward and make it happen, and not to sit in that feminine energy, but also to get discouraged and to be doubtful and to not visualize the outcome as you intend it to be, but visualize an outcome that is based on like steps that you need to take, or the outcome based on like, I'm going to seek revenge, kind of like I'm going to like just date this other person and just like get distracted and make them jealous, or you know, all these manipulative tactics that may have worked in a normal, which is not even normal type relationship, which absolutely does not work in a twin flame connection. It just doesn't work. It won't work. It never works. There's no way it would work, because a twin flame connection is all about truth. It's all about authenticity. It's all about living from your higher self and your higher being, and not living in ego and not living from your ego space. It's about being open and receptive to unconditional love, to giving and receiving unconditional love. It is of the highest light. It is about shining a light outward toward others. It's about embracing your divine masculine with that highest radiance of light. And none of that can be done if you're continually calculating. So if you're calculating your next move, if you're calculating your next manipulation, if you're calculating your words, if you're calculating your deeds, if you're not visualizing the outcome that you desire, the ultimate union between the two of you, whether it looks like marriage, making babies, buying a home together, living together, moving in, working together on a project, opening up a business together, whatever that outcome looks like for you, it's time, Divine Feminines, now to visualize. So you've reached out in unconditional love to your Divine Masculine. You've made the commitment to him, and now it's time to visualize your outcome, and don't let anything, or anybody deter you from your outcome, your desired outcome, because that is your soul's calling. That is your ultimate destiny. That is what you are designed for. Like, you are designed to be in this union for a purpose. And we talked about this in the last video. And the video before that, it's not just about love and romance. It's not just about creating a family together. It's a greater purpose. It's about raising the consciousness of the globe. It's about raising the consciousness of the world with your example of unconditional love, and moving out and helping others to do the same, to finding that unity, to finding that unity consciousness, and to help raise the consciousness of the world by doing that. And so the only way you're going to do this, Divine Feminines, is by staying rooted in that. Stay rooted in your personal power. And your personal power is not about fire. Your personal power is about the power of connecting the intuition and the spiritual level to the real world level, meaning the 3D level. Because as the Divine Feminine, we are creators. We are co-creators with God, but we are creators. And since we are creators, we create our own reality for the good and for the bad. So just be super duper careful, because with this current energy and what is happening, we are instant manifestors. And so when you're an instant manifestor, you have to be super duper duper careful about what you're thinking about. So for me personally, this was, how would I be, act, react? How would I conduct myself in public if I were already married to my Divine Masculine? Like, how would I act? Would I be flirting with other guys? No. Would I be text messaging with other guys? No. Would I be going out there and like dressing sexy to get reaction from other guys? No. So you've got to think about like how you would act, how you would react. The other thing is, would I be talking about him? No. I would have the ultimate respect for him and for his integrity and for his honor, to just, if I were to talk about him, to only speak good about him, to only speak, and that's really the way I feel about him. So if he happens to be watching this, know that I only speak honor into you all the time. I don't even know if he watches these videos. I wouldn't have a clue. But no, I only speak honor about him. I speak honor to his person. I speak honor to his integrity. I speak honor to him because I respect him with the most ultimate respect. I love him with the highest amount of love. And I adore him with an adoration of a person who would be at the feet of someone who they adore, because that is how I see him. That's how I look at him. And when you treat this divine masculine, even in your head, it doesn't have to be to other people, but even in your head, when you treat him in this way, the outcome can only be good. The outcome can only be of the highest vibration. And when you operate from that level, your divine masculine can't help but feel that energy. Your divine masculine cannot help but know that. And that is what the beauty of this connection is, that when you operate from the highest level, your divine masculine counterpart feels it, hears it, sees it, and just knows, has an inner knowing that you are operating from this level for him and for your union and for your connection. And it becomes this beautiful, beautiful, amazing thing. And when you do that, like, that is part of your work, guys. When we talk about the work, when other readers, when other YouTubers talk about the work, that is part of the work that we're referring to. We're referring to the work of yourself, your self-esteem, your self-worth, breaking away from codependency, breaking off relationships that aren't serving you anymore. It's about standing in your personal power. It's about honoring the person that is your divine twin flame, never talking bad about them, never ridiculing them for their behavior, never even really talking about them. Meaning that unless if you're, in a guidance situation where you're getting a reading, or you're in a counseling session with someone who understands twin flames connections, try not to share this with people that don't understand. But even in the twin flame community, do not talk badly about your twin flame, because your twin flame knows it, sees it, hears it, feels it. Point blank. It doesn't matter if he's not awakened. He does. On some level, he does. He gets it. He knows it. He understands it. And it's going to keep him away from you even longer than you want. So that's my advice. Just keep focused on the outcome. Now, if that means you have to do affirmations, daily affirmations, which I do daily affirmations for us, for our twin flame connection, I do daily affirmations. Some weird stuff was going on, you guys. Like, so many weird things have happened in the past 10 days. You have no idea. And even this actually happened maybe 2 to 3 weeks ago, even before the full moon, because something magical happened on March 20th at the spring equinox and the full moon that happened on the same day. There was something like so incredibly magical that happened on a spiritual level between my twin flame and I. And from that point forward, the connection has been extremely strong. And we're talking about the 5D. I'm not talking about the 3D yet. Starting to see little hints of it in the 3D, but in the 5D, oh my gosh, craziness. But some weird stuff was happening with my affirmations. So I'll speak affirmations into my phone, I'll put it on the voice memo, and then I'll re-listen to myself and listen to my affirmations. Well, what happened was, a few weeks back, something got into my phone, whether it was my angels or something, but somehow the voice memo was on loop. And so the voice memo, which is the affirmations, was about 10 minutes long. And normally when a voice memo plays itself out, it plays itself out and it turns off. And then it goes back to listening to whatever you were listening to, iTunes, Pandora, Spotify, whatever. This happened like 2 or 3 days in a row, you guys. So I was listening to my affirmations, which was about my twin flame, and then it looped around and it did it again, and then it did it again, and then it did it again. And so now it's getting to the point where I'm getting to work and I want to shut it off. And so I'm like clicking on the pause button and it won't pause. And then I'm turning off the radio because it's going through Bluetooth to the radio on my car, and I turn the off button on my radio, which should shut off all sound coming through the radio, and it goes back into the Bluetooth, into the radio while the radio is off and it's still playing. And I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. So then I was like literally like closing all of my apps, and on my phone, I'm like trying to drive and closing all of my apps and like swiping up, closing. Now all the apps are closed, including the voice memo app. It's still closed. I set down my phone, it opens up the voice memo app and turns on back to my affirmations with the radio off, going through the Bluetooth on the radio. I'm like, oh my God, this is totally nuts. This is totally crazy. And so then I'm like, shoot, I gotta go into work. I can't have my phone talking to me about my affirmations about my twin flame while I'm walking into work. So I had to shut my phone off. I literally had to shut my phone off. That was the only way I could turn off the voice memo. I was like, oh my God, this is totally crazy. And then the next day, the same thing happened. And then the next day, the same thing happened. And I'm like, what's happening? So I think that was my angels just telling me like, yeah, this is going to happen. This is totally going to happen. It's going to happen. We're showing you it's going to happen. We're not letting you shut this off because it's going to happen. So it hasn't happened since then. So it happened for like 3 days. Now my phone's back to normal. Voice memo is back to normal. I don't know what happened. So crazy story, you guys. So do your affirmations for your outcome. Do a vision board. Write down your affirmations for your outcome for you and your twin flame. Paste it up on your bathroom mirror. Another thing is get ready for him. Get ready for your twin flame to come to you. Come in union. I don't know, get your nails done, get a massage, get a haircut, get your hair dyed. Whatever you need to do, buy a new outfit, buy lingerie. A feng shui principle, create space for him in your house or her. Remember, divine masculine may be male or female. Create space for your divine masculine in your home. Create closet space, create drawer space, create other closet space, clear out your basement, create space for him to be able to come to you, to move in, to stay overnight. Like, create that space. And so you are totally preparing for this union. You're totally preparing for this outcome, for this desired outcome that you want. Physically get up and prepare that space for your divine masculine to be in your life. Prepare that space in your heart, prepare that space on your body, like everything. Just think about what you would do when you're preparing for a baby to come, right? So you have 9 months for a baby to come. You do stuff, right? You do stuff to prepare for that. Now is the time. Now is the time to prepare for your outcome, prepare for your union, and it's going to happen because it is happening, you guys. It is happening. Stay positive. That is the last message I have for you today in the channeled messages. You guys need to stay positive. Stay positive. Stay positive. Get the negativity out of your brains, out of your hearts, out of your minds, out of your conversations. Negativity has to go. Stay positive. You're not crazy. This is totally real. Totally real. This is happening. This is totally real. Stay rooted in your truth. Stay rooted in the positivity. Stay rooted in your outcome and do not deter from your desired outcome. Thank you so much, you guys. I love you so much. Hopefully I'll be back next week with another twin flame message. Hopefully it'll be even more positive and more uplifting for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for subscribing to my channel below. Share this video with other twin flames. And thank you for pledging your support on Patreon, www.patreon.com/Michelle S. Fondin. And I will see you in the next video.